can definitely pick up 10 plus elims in every game for sure. But if they don't get a victory, it doesn't matter because they can't fill out that middle box. So there's so much that comes into play here. And Team Selly getting off to a fantastic start, and I'm expecting to see them continue that in game 2.
Well, here we go. We got game 2 ready, and we are starting to jump back into Urzikstan as we are going to hop on board with Team Selly. Once again, who we just previously were talking about in their bingo card. They didn't get that, one Semtex knock, so they weren't able to complete that whole row like Team Zlaner or like Team Apathy Enigma. But heading into game 2, they've already got that Warzone victory. And now, if they want to potentially look at maybe completing this diagonal bingo, they're looking at getting 10 plus elims again in game number 2, which, if this team, has already proven anything in game 1, it should be a walk in the park.
Look, I'll be completely honest. Me, as a 30-year-old man, I'm bot lobbying around. Even my teams are picking up 10 plus elims, so these guys are going to have no trouble. Don't get me wrong, they're in a much higher level opposition lobby, but I would expect them to have no problems at all picking up 10 plus elims in every game. If they don't, that is a massive drop ball from them and would shut down one of their diagonal approaches. And that's one of the things as well. Some teams won't have picked up 10 kills in the first map, right? So they will now not have the opportunity to do a top left to bottom right diagonal line at all, unless game 6 where they select it and try and go for that again.
You read my mind. Look at this. I was just
on
about
a wavelength,
to say,
Seymour. We're on a wavelength.
I was just about to say, going past 30 now, I got to get you out of the Warzone lobby to get you to the bingo halls, but
bro.
we hit that wavelength, and now I feel really bad for bringing that up.
Are you only a few years behind me? Like, come on. Anyway, everyone in chat right now who's over 30 is absolutely gunning for you. Hey, look, I've tried bingo once or twice in the past. I'm awful at it for some reason. I'd never win a damn thing, but yeah, I tell you what, if I was on this squad, I wouldn't have too many problems because they're already locked in. They've got their drop spot. They know exactly where they want to be. They were pushing out fire station side last time round, and well, we're moving on to a different squad. And actually, Biffle and Co. have got a lot of company immediately.
Oh, Tommy now and Biffle, the only two left alive. We're seeing Biffle easy as ever. Doesn't even flinch to take that fight against Scummin, but this is a big fight to take right off the bat to maybe shut down Team Scummin or shut down Team Biffle early on inside of game 2. And like you say, deny their chances of completing some of their bingo lines. C4 over the back, and that is the team wipe with the C4, the Kobe on the Zlaner.
Oh my goodness me, Biffle is playing, he's so smart, he's such an intelligent player to watch at all times. And I'll start thinking, okay, his team's down 2 members, they've got to recover this situation. I don't know about you, I'm panicking, I'm running away, I'm terrified about the team that's coming up behind me, which by the way, I believe was Scummin, FIFA Kill and Co, right? So he not only plays the situation out very well, gets his teammates back into the fight, puts down the portable radar to tell him a flank's coming in, he then brings out the C4 knock, and ladies and gentlemen, that will indeed be a check mark off of your bingo card.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big pickup right there. The 3rd row in column I. So Team Biffle already starting strong inside of game number 2, especially even under that pressure inside of the gunfight. If that was me using the C4, then I know I'm saying to myself, oh, wow, I just unlocked that 1% of the brain that I never, ever use in my daily life. But it is Cerebral plays coming up for Biffle and barely staying alive with 1 HP. Another team shooting him in the back. A little bit of the 3rd party coming out, but turns around and gets the knock on the Clamp.
Yeah, and this is one of the teams we were speaking about earlier. Is a bit of a dark horse side. Is Gold, Clamp, Mireille, and going. The Mexican squad are getting cut down a little bit here, though, I think, as Tommy gets rezzed in the background, and it looks like all of the danger has been averted. And this is one of the things about this lineup of players. They've all got the ability to take on dangerous situations and win them, but flanked here up against Clamp, actually, and he's going to check left, right, left. Comes back round to the left side, slots the mag in, and wants to get aggressive. Hit the first couple of bullets. What? Wait, did he get the kill? I didn't.
He got the kill off of those initial shots.
I'm landing on the crate.
Yeah, those were straight headshots coming out.
See that? Good lord. Okay, I just completely missed that one. That's on me. Flanked. Not missing a single bullet. See you later, Clamp. Your boys will have to buy you back in.
It's fine.
I think my favorite thing about that gunfight is when I was looking at Flank's camera, his dog is sitting on a chair behind him. He has a dog chair so that
I see in the house,
have a spectator.
No, he wasn't that far. He was close.
That is the most adorable thing ever. The most adorable thing ever
ass, by the way.
All. And now we head over towards Team Biffle once again, who were just getting third party. You saw Biffle get that turn on. Clamp was fully knocked down because he lost his gulag to flank, and you see, Huskerrs has actually L. I was wondering who their fourth was for a second. You know, I definitely figured it was Huskerrs, but I didn't know what to go about for the name.
So, by the way, I just checked this in the background. So one of the challenges that you can complete in game 2 is to redeploy the same teammate 3 times, okay? So that counts not only redeploy balloons, not only redeploys in terms of buybacks, but also winning a gulag. So if you win a gulag, you not only start to make progress towards getting 10 elims as a squad, not only make progress towards you're lifting your averages, which is another box on there, but there's also then redeploying yourself back into the game. So many different checkboxes checked off just in the same moment there, and we're seeing a lot of those gulags come on through nice and early, with Flanks making no trouble with his.
Not at all big.
No riot shield
redeploy there for Flank. The riot shield? That's not gonna stop a world champ. Not at all. Slacked coming out with some nice shots there with the sniper to find that knock to the player with the riot shield. You see Raided's gonna finish it off, and now they have a perfect opportunity to use some cash and maybe buy a loadout or two, or I guess a loadout.
Do you just like buy a cluster and stick it down on the buy, or like there's trouble here, by the way, for Slack. He's getting tagged by something. UAV goes up. There is quite a few teams just over to the south of this squad, but
they're surrounded.
I believe they're just going to rotate early so that this river is not going to be a problem for them when it comes to these next set of gunfights. Probably a smart move to make, but it does leave them a little bit stranded if they get this all wrong.
So this island here that they're on, No Name Island, this is my favorite drop spot in Def.
Really?
Sure. Yeah, it's just it's one of those things that I dropped down and I'm like, this is the most pointless place to go. So this is, I think it's just funny to go to.
You got all the drop spots that are available to you in Urzikstan, and you're hitting that land with a one singular tree. Man,
yeah.
You and me ain't playing rank together anytime soon. That is an awful
no,
call.
I don't expect it. We have two different, we have two different, I guess, accomplishments that we're looking for when we jump into the game. See, I'm just looking to have a good time, and that tree is a fun time.
Okay.
Take a look at Slacked here versus Biffle. This is a big one. Early shots out from Slack, slides out for the challenge, but the shots just were not on. And Biffle, you gotta be careful at missing shots against Biffle. He's gonna let you know that you lost it.
And that's one of the situations, right? We were talking about this earlier when it comes to gulags. You are up against some of the world's best players, or as it turns out in that situation, the world's best player in Biffle. Not someone you want to be fighting against. Loses the gunfight. The one bonus there that you do have if your team slack is that when he flashed up the scoreboard, you can see that they did have 10 elims at least in this game, so they've checked off that box. Also, if he is brought back in, that is a redeploy that will give them some progress. And Smith here just going absolutely nuts. Will cut Rated and Apathy down, and listen to that as the team go absolutely nuts as they continue to progress on through map 2.
It's just straight vibes coming out from Team Biffle. I feel like we're just watching a highlight reel come out from each and every one of these individuals. I mean, Biffle earlier had his moment. Tommy with some excellent support on top of Biffle. And now Z Schmidt popping up. I'm waiting for Huskerrs to have his pop-off moment as well, as this is a team that we haven't seen too much about. Let's hop over to Team Smixy and see how they're matching up into this one. You see Smixy already with 2 eliminations. Unfortunately, Peachy was knocked down, but she has been brought back up. And they are looking to, I guess, stabilize. We look at their bingo card. Game number 1 was not too friendly to them. They didn't get that 10+ elimination as a squad in game 1. So that is going to completely wipe away their chances at that diagonal. Unless game number 6 changes it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and again, like, there are multiple ways in which these teams can fix that situation this early on. So you can come back later in map 6 and try and complete a few more of those challenges. But you've got to start picking up some of these. Why are you waiting to take this gunfight? What have they sniffed out here? Team Z Smith just gonna slowly press up here. Look at this for stacking. 3 boys all on top of each other, but someone's gonna peek. And actually, Smith does really well. Stays alive, cracks place, and gives his teammates time to push. But I think that's the C4 coming back at them. Biffle will take a lot of damage and back on off. And actually, this is the same team, I believe, just over the top. Queen Biddy will fall elsewhere. Smith putting that interceptor to use, but they're stuck in us. Oh, that's a friendly bomb drone. I heard that noise and my heart leapt. Good lord, I thought that was 3 players getting picked off.
There's a lot going on. And Smith's providing a whole lot of support to take this high ground now. They get the knock, they jump up. Now they have a little bit of a buy to redeploy Tommy back into it. So that's a redeploy in. They got Biffle back from the gulag, and now they've brought Tommy back as Wait a second. No way. This is so smart. Tommy's gonna die, and they're gonna buy him back.
Yeah. And this is what we were speaking about at the start, right? Like, you can just keep buying your teammate back in. Tommy breaks his legs, gives up, and then gets bought back in. Goes down again. Tommy, bye-bye. Like, this is how this can work. This will check off a box. We're playing Warzone Bingo. All you've got to do is complete the challenges. This squad are going to have no trouble hitting 10 elims. They're going to have no trouble hitting their averages. So, I mean, if you then have redeployed a player, all you need to do is get a knock with a cluster mine and a knock with a C4, and you have got all 5 checked off for this map.
They know what they need to do, and they have exactly the will needed to get it done.
Yeah, Tommy's
like, wow,
going to need that gulag token. I'm not lying.
Yeah, Tommy's going to need it. Biffle's going to need it. No, definitely you can share it across some of your members. But let's hop over to Team Lalashi, another team that we definitely highlighted. I want to look at the bingo card from game number 1 for how they were, because we didn't get to see too much of Team Lalashi inside of that game number 1. Skullface, we mentioned he was the previous winner yesterday or the other day in the Sadie's Hawkins tournament, so he's going to be looking to go back to back with a little bit of cash prize here. But unfortunately, game number 1 didn't get a single challenge done.
No, not a single one. And to be fair, one of those cannot be completed until the end of map 6, so potentially on for 1. But if they are going to get their afternoon started, it has to begin here, because although in map 6 you have the opportunity to select 3 challenges and attempt to recomplete them, there's only so many squares that you want to have left open at the end of map 5, right? You don't want to be forced to essentially try and complete 3 very spread challenges on your bingo card. You want to leave that as low as possible to complete. And Skullface, Breadman, and Co. have spotted someone, and Breadman's actually in trouble. Breadman will fall. There's a cluster mine down over there, by the way. They're trying to bait someone into it, I think. I believe that might be on the buy station. Selling now to take on a tract in the gulag.
On what?
The best way to get a cluster mine kill is going to be inside the last circle, when everything is just so chaotic that you can just toss one down and surprise someone. But Ram 7 in the hand of Selly. He's going to be going up against a tract. This is going to be a competitive one. That's because both players have an insane shot, and you see a tract shooting a little bit straighter right there. And that's going to be Selly to do it to get redeployed back in. So
I can't completely hear those comms, but I'm assuming she didn't agree with that. She's now up against Stemper. Has the opportunity to go again. I believe that's an SVA in hand. How does she play this one out? Slides right. Nothing. Stemper's taking his time. Checks left then. Is this where your opponent's going to be? Not this time. So they're both going to have to get aggressive. Likely meet in the middle just before that rope pops. You do have C4 here. Oh my god. Selly somehow doesn't win that. I thought that was locked on for sure. Stemper comes out on top and manages to then take the goo. And, well, if Selly didn't agree with the first one, I'm going to assume that she really didn't agree with that second one.
I'm in absolute disbelief. I can't believe it, but, you know, there's the redeploy flare. So Selly's going to be brought back to Urzikstan no matter how the outcome did go. That is super unfortunate, because both of the times, I mean, it's not like she would shoot bad in those gunfights. I think just the first shot comes out for a track, first shot comes out for Stemper, and just on the short end of the stick. What is happening right now with... Is that the beatdown knock was last game? You don't need it this time around.
Yeah, you don't, but that is a good example to talk about, perhaps. So, for example, let's say you didn't get your melee beatdown in game 1, and you go into game 6, and if you need the melee beatdown to complete a line, you can select that challenge, and if you complete it in game 6, it will tick off the column in game 1. So it is a good example to talk about right now, but won't count towards anything except for an elimination here in map 2. Yeah.
Which, you know, is something that you do need for that second row as well. You need 10 plus eliminations again here. You're going to need it in, I think, every single game except for game number 3. Game number 3 is going to be that free space, is where you would normally see the 10 plus eliminations. But across from that, if you get 10 plus eliminations in every single game, Andy, you're going to have a bingo. So that is something to think about.
10 plus elims and a victory will get you there for sure. But right now, it looks like... Team Zlaner here, just setting up for something central zone and perhaps looking to play out towards the end. Maybe they're thinking that they want to get that Warzone victory checked off nice and early. This is a tough spot to be in for a squad like this because they're used to roaming around Urzikstan, picking up so many kills. Instead, they're just going to have to play for victory on this one. Almost like a good old-fashioned World Series lobby. Pick up whatever they can en route. Back on with Team Witty. And they're more edge of zone. Difficult rotation this one, Seamer, I tell you.
I want to see a crazy sniper. Let's see it.
It's two. Never mind.
I'm crossing. I think we just crossed on this side.
Oh, it's not gonna hit. Those are tough. Those are tough shots for sure. And the smoke's gonna make it even harder. But look at the bingo card here for Team Lights Fire. Only 2 challenges done in map number 1, so they have a lot of work to do here in map number 2. As we're gonna be heading onto on board with the Captain Lights Fire himself here. Now looking like they want to climb this elevator. Not sure if anybody is here, but the way that they're approaching this one, I don't know if he's just having trouble getting through that door, or if they're being super cautious here. But I think it might be the first one here.
There is one player somewhere. Oh, the problem is that on this building, you're beneath the neighboring building. So essentially, if that is an opponent, look how many players are in that next building. So essentially, the guy that's in your building, if he's on the roof, but his teammates are on the next one over, you're just going to get hellfire, rain down on you. And they're trying to scope out whoever's down here. Moving on over towards Team Slack. Haven't seen too much of them, but Slack himself is on 3. You would assume that this squad do have 10 elims, so it might be another check on the box. Which
This is one of 2 teams that did have all 4 challenges done in game number 1. So
yes.
I'm with you on expecting that this is going to be a team that you would expect to get 10 elims yet again here in the next game. I mean,
they had an
know how
awful
good
start.
these players are.
In map 1, they had an awful start. They still get 10
They were
elims.
the third one dead. Third one's down.
The fact that they're picked up 10s shows the kind of slaying prowess this team possess.
You said sniper here, CB. I have sniper. CB, I dropped 32
So,
snipers.
yeah, Team Apathy, they got all 4 challenges done. I'm looking at their bingo card right now.
You need that door? They're smoking. I'm clicking the nade. I'm nading in the smoke.
Now,
I need the smoke.
you see Apathy has
Trying to get
6
him.
kills. Slack has 2
coming in
kills.
now.
So hopefully, maybe Rated or Clutch Belk has 2 of their own, and that's going to be 10 already instead of the second game.
Can you pull that?
As the Plem got some nice shots coming out there. That's going to be another elimination for Papa App.
Wow, hard rotation is
As
hard.
one away from getting another challenge done. Handedly here, slides out. The knock's not going to come through. Instead, Apathy caught a lovely nade being shown from their opponents to force them into the open. That's Amit.
The comms there are very unfortunate, by the way. Apathy only challenges that because he hears a call that there's 1 player in there. Instead, when he challenges, there's actually 2. So that's why App gets dropped in the end. Belk, unfortunate. Perhaps they'd only see 1 at a time. Snow here, pick up Team Is that Milord or My Lord? As a Brit, I want to say Milord. I don't know how that goes in America, but he's in big trouble here, by the way. Gonna just about manage to sneak in through the gas. That sniper pick turning out to be huge, because if he hadn't gotten that, this is exactly where that team would have been standing.
I think I'd agree with you. I'd want to say, Milord as well, but I'm not confident.
It's giving me like Middle Ages vibes.
Yeah, I think you and I are in agreement for that one, but I'm just not so confident. Hello, that's a freebie in the C4. Bye-bye. Oh, that's going to be an easy elimination there. I see, who is that? Is that a little bit scrambled on my screen? That's Sweets. That is unfortunate for sure. A lot of gas damage here.
No.
Clamp close to going down, and unfortunate. That is going to be the knock, so Clamp has to possibly circle back to pick him up, but out in the open, I don't know if that's going to be the right call.
Yeah, this is going to be difficult. I feel like he perhaps misread how much ground he still had to cover, because that's a freebie, essentially, getting picked off to the gas in that sort of fashion. Well, we're on board with Careless Kitty. And we saw a little bit of this team earlier on. They were playing very closely together. And if you look at your minimap, it seems like that's still the way. Quiet right now will change very soon, because the circle's going to collapse around there. Smixy, this is a difficult spot to be in. You're between so many of these little shopping center areas. So many players and teams on the roofs. As you watch Peachy come on in, she just splats. Was that intentional, potentially for a buyback? Or is that because there's so many people on roofs that are just picking you out of the sky?
It's not like you have to deal with the city center, but it's still difficult to fight against this high ground, albeit there's so many buildings at equal height that anybody can be literally anywhere. And you see On the mini-map, a couple of red dots above them on every single building. The high ground is occupied. Lightsfire swings around. Unfortunately, 2 players. That might be the team wipe. And yes, it is 7th place for Team Lightsfire. We head over towards In Texas. You see the self-res coming out for Empathy. Unfortunately, nades coming out from Snow. Now to head up that ladder, we're seeing Careless Kitty with a first elimination. C4 down. I thought she was about to explode that onto herself, but instead she is under so much pressure. Now over towards 4 and Jace, who has the trophy around the corner. Gonna have a little bit of support now to get to this half wall as there's a team on the other side.
I'm trying to play through this smoke, doing a great job of managing to get up on over the wall, but that's where they need to be. The next circle will push everyone even further west, and someone gets up close and personal and cuts Jace down, but it will be traded out immediately by Lovely, who's now got to try and get the res on through. Do you stick this? Because a lot of players nearby. Kitty trying to rain some damage from the top with the Polemia, and the rest of her team are down. She will now fall. Jace picks up that kill, who was revived. So much going on. Last 2 teams. This is essentially a 3-on-2, 1v3, and it will be 4 and Jason Co that come out on top with 20 elims and ticking themselves off not just the box for the 10 elims, but also that golden box in the middle of your bingo card. They have an opportunity to get themselves some diagonal victories.
Team 4 Jace, let's bring up their bingo card and see exactly how they did back in, game number 1. It was definitely a huge win to pick up towards the end there. You see Lovely Load just absolutely ecstatic after that win inside of game number 2. Literally anybody's game, but I do have to give a lot of respect onto their team for playing that so patiently at the end there. You saw the trophy system allowing them to stay safe on the other side of the half wall. They push towards it. They know there's a team on the other side. They have to get over the smokes they use. They know that the players are getting pushed off the high ground into the open. So being the last team to rotate in Enigma, they're able to just pick off and clean up every single fight that is surrounding them. And that is a huge moment for their team.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it unlocks so many potential avenues.